Oh, I've been waiting for this episode. After season 5 pretty much off-screened all of Felix's character development to the point where it honestly felt like he wasn't even the same character across episodes, I wondered how season 6 was going to justify anything about him. It was like the one thing I truly did not believe they could fix. And it seems they went with what I considered would be their best option. Ignore it. Well, their best option outside of a flashback. Why does Felix trust Marinette? He just does. Why does Adrien not question Felix about working with Moth? He just doesn't. Why doesn't anyone care about Felix making all of Paris disappear even though he revealed his identity as he did so? I don't know. The show's ignored the fact that happened so much I almost forgot about it. Accept these changes and move on. Adding this in post because I completely forgot about it until a critical retrospective reminded me. They still also haven't addressed him trying to kiss Ladybug while he was pretending to be Adrien. Though in my defense, the show has 100% also forgotten about that as well. Alright, much like I did with the whole Bunnix drama, let's see if this episode is good on its own. So, we begin with a flashback to Gabriel's last conversation with Tomoe before he went after Ladybug. And I repeat, I simply do not believe this whole secret society nonsense existed before like season 4 at best. You expect me to believe that Tomoe came to Paris specifically to set Adrien and Kagami up while knowing Gabriel is Moth? And he akumatized her even though she mocked him for playing supervillain, and she had nothing to say about that while agreeing to become Yaksi Gozen? I'm supposed to believe the business plan they were talking about in Animaestro was the whole perfect alliance operation from the end of season 5? If that's the case, why did he give Chloe the miracle box in Miracle Queen? Oh god, I really should make a video about that episode. Also, it seems that Tomoe might have been the one who sent Lila to the mansion during the finale, which I think I might believe even less. And there's this talk about if Tomoe is Lila's mom. I don't believe it. I think she was just being cheeky, but theorize all the way. I'm still mildly sure Agreste is Lila. Yes, you can use logic to debate me about it, but logic has never stopped Lila even before she had magic powers. I don't see why it would stop her now. Including the whole part about the fact that Lila does not look Asian. My point is that if all of this has been planned, Miraculous is just really bad at not looking like most of its plot developments are based on retcons. I cannot believe that there was not a single indication of Zoe's existence before her first appearance. Anyway, we go back to the present where Marinette kicks off Adrien's subplot by putting choking hazards in his food and sending him off on a hunt for an I love you note. It's cute and kicks off Adrien feeling insecure about how he shows his love to Marinette, leading to him trying stuff out and failing quite a bit before he settles on giving her meat. But then there's the main plot, which starts out with Kagami arguing with her mom. Long just floating there and talking freely was kinda weird. I'm not gonna lie, while there have been discussions about the power the Peacock Miraculous gives people, hearing Kagami's mom say she doesn't trust Felix while he can make Kagami disappear with a snap of her fingers made me more interested in the idea of trust among the sentient beings. Or at least I would be if Felix was still Felix and everyone didn't just trust him. The fact Tomoe, the control freak who worked with Gabriel Agreste, who had the Peacock Miraculous until season 4 mind you, is the one saying this is an indication that this line is supposed to be bullshit. And honestly, coming for her, it is bullshit. Also, while I'm sure this is just supposed to be a reference to the peacock, I can't help but remember that Felix did snap his fingers and make at least all of Paris disappear. When Tomoe grabbed Kagami's ring, I was like, I cannot believe she's still living in the same house with this woman, or that Marinette gave her back the Dragon Miraculous. Yeah, I get it. Kagami wants to love her mom and all that, but if Tomoe was even a little smart about it, she could get the Miraculous and ring off her daughter so easily. Kagami eats and sleeps there. Ladybug is honestly being a horribly irresponsible guardian, and I'm gonna add this to the pile of things that should come back and bite her in the ass from this season. I did like Kagami's complicated feelings towards her mom though, and how she used her powers as Ryuko to put her in her place. Honestly, if I ignore all my problems with the writing that got us to this point, this scene is great. I think that could be the tagline for a lot of my videos on this show. The first time I saw Tomoe's eyes, I wondered if they were supposed to be like artificial eyes that she could see through, but I'm pretty sure they're just there because she's too fancy and rich to just get glass eyes, and she's still blind. So like, did Kagami just not hear her mom's conversation with Gabriel? She's whispering, but still. And now I'm wondering exactly how much Kagami has actually known about the plot this whole time. When exactly did she find out she's a Senti and her mom is working with Moth? I think I assumed it was around when Felix showed up and started fucking with everything in season 5, but I might be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen those episodes. Also, Kagami's mom seemed to have been the one to give her life and only paid with her eyes instead of her life. This has raised questions of if Kagami even has a dad, considering Tomoe talks about feeling betrayed by men, and if replacing her eyes with machines is part of the reason she's still alive. Also, how much of her is machine? Considering she's supposed to be a traditionalist Japanese woman or something like that, I think that there must at least have been a husband she could point to if someone asked. I don't see Tomoe Tsurugi as the kind of woman to let everyone think she has a bastard daughter. Lila shows up for the first time in Tomoe's house. She shows off her transformed look. Interesting choice. So Tomoe does know that she has the Miraculous, and Lila's betrayed her before. What a development. It seems she really did send Lila over to Gabe's house. As I said, there have been raised theories about if Lila is really Tomoe's daughter, because this girl will not be satisfied until all of Paris are her parents. She's here because she wants Tomoe's help with her latest plan, getting Felix's amok to turn him into a spy among the Miraculous. Wait, so does this mean she doesn't already have a spy? Because I've seen people theorize about the possibility. Anyway, she plays into Tomoe's desire for control to convince her to help. She can't control Kagami, but she can control her boyfriend. The art used to represent the plan looks so freaky, especially with the controlled Felix. Fortunately, Felix and Kagami are currently in the midst of ruining that plan. When the promos came out showing the two of them giving Marinette their rings, it raised questions about why and whether or not Felix would ever do that. He wouldn't. I mean, he would now, but because pretty much all of their development was off-screen, I just do not see why these two trust each other even a little. I mean, yeah, Marinette knows about Felix's tragic backstory and all that, but like, isn't the point of the lesson Chloe teaches that a tragic backstory doesn't mean you're a good person? She should distrust him like a bit more. And Felix should not trust her at all. I genuinely can't think of why he does besides Kagami told him to. The closest we come to actually addressing all of this is Felix saying that it wasn't Marinette's fault the Miraculous were stolen. And you gotta admire the balls on this show to just have him say that and then not address it at all. No amount of talking about how cute the Liar Trio's antics look is going to take any of that away. Some people's reaction to all the criticism seems to be something along the lines of, don't you want Felix to be happy? To which I say, no, I want him to be a good character. But you know what? I think the actual situation in the show is pretty clever. They want to hide their rings somewhere they will be completely safe and inaccessible, and the field of possibilities within Ladybug's yo-yo is as good a place as any. Still iffy on Felix trusting her, but I think you could write a version of this where even a more distrustful Felix could be talked into doing this. I thought that every Miraculous had one of these pocket dimension things, but I guess only Ladybug and Chat do because we have seen Adrien store stuff in his staff. What do you think his is called? The Field of Decay? Before she can put the rings away though, Adrien and Marinette's parents show up and are confused as to why the three of them are just in her room. I can only imagine what combination of words were used to convince Adrien to trust Felix after everything. He pretended to be him, robbed Ladybug, and 20 minutes later Moth had all the Miraculous except the one Felix is currently wearing. If Vampigami has all the explanations I'm looking for, it had better be a phenomenal episode. I have been very critical about things like trust and Adrien being ignorant and stupid and all that. And while they all apply to this scene of everyone desperately searching for the rings they dropped while coming up with a lie to try and explain away what's happening to Adrien, the honest truth is, it was so funny. I enjoyed the scene a lot. This is so me when I lose anything. And then Adrien realizes he's stepping on the rings, foreshadowing, and makes them disappear with a magic trick. A really impressive one too. He thinks nothing is wrong while these three are a step away from the world's first collective heart attack. Felix gets mad about it, and then when Adrien tells him not to take things too seriously, he immediately does that because Adrien is holding his amok. The consequences of not telling Adrien anything. It's like we're back in season 4 all over again. Though, if the control is that powerful, I almost can't believe Adrien was able to act the way he did in the past seasons while Gabriel had the ring. Unless you can, choose to not have your orders followed. Oh, the looks on their faces. I like the idea I saw some people talking about where the girls were totally about to jump Adrien to get the ring back if Yaksi Gozen didn't call immediately. Love the way we cut from the phone call to cutting the top half of the room down. Yaski begins the plan by capturing Felix, but thanks to Adrien's magic trick, when Chrysalis goes for the ring, he only has Kagami's. A combination of the fact Tomoe probably wouldn't support Chrysalis taking her daughter's amok, and the fact they probably don't even have a replica of Kagami's ring to replace it with, pretty much ruins the plan. So I guess everyone thank Adrien for thinking he's in a slice of life and not an existential thriller. After a short fight with the plan ruined, Chrysalis escapes and Yaksi Gozen fakes fighting off her akuma. A big part of my criticism of the London special is the fact that we know people who release themselves from the akuma retain their memories. And people actually argued with me about it. Someone said that the 5 examples I could bring up of that happening were all bad writing and the London special is the only time it's been correct. Except it happened here again, with Tomoe remembering that Kagami was talking about her losing her daughter while they fought, and after she returns to normal, she says that she doesn't want to lose her daughter. I didn't need more proof, but here it is. And you can't say they planned this because they did not plan for Tomoe to say she doesn't want to lose her daughter, they just planned for her to apologize. The idea she coincidentally said all of that is far-fetched. Also, the fact they had to plan for this at all indicates Tomoe was supposed to remember what happened and then apologize after she breaks out. Because imagine this whole thing from her perspective if she was supposed to forget what happened while she was a villain. She gets mad, blacks out, then wakes up on the bridge not knowing what happened, apologizing immediately. I once again do not buy it. This whole happy ending here is just a lie and the heroes are buying it. It's crazy. We get the resolution of Adrien's subplot with Tom telling him that he is a part of their family even without the crazy displays of love. The feeling of betrayal better hit like crack. And for the end scene, we get a reveal that Gabriel has officially been replaced in the Illuminati with a new diamond, as well as info that the person who is the diamond is in charge of luxury. It's all very mysterious. A lot of people have been theorizing on who these people are, and honestly, I don't think I'd be able to take it seriously if the characters we've already seen in the show are a part of it. I am not taking these people seriously if Darsh and Cor or Bob Roth are among them. This episode was good. Though, full disclosure, I don't think it's quite as good as I've seen a lot of people saying it is. And also, I kept getting distracted by all the things that they had to do to get us here. It's like a worse version of my problems with the Dark Castle. I can only divorce the story from the bad writing that got us here in the first place so much before it just becomes me coping. And Felix is far too much. At this point, I think all the romantic and cute stuff they're using him for is just meant to be a distraction, because you can't complain about how shitty his writing is if you're busy cooing at how adorable he is with Kagami or how ridiculous he's acting right now. I did not care for the Adrien subplot that much until he was giving everyone else heart attacks. I can only take so much setup with this guy before I start to wonder when we're finally gonna pull the trigger on everything. Kagami is still my favorite, though I guess she is fighting with Alia for that position. Marinette. I don't actually have that much to say about her. Besides the scavenger hunt for the I love you note, she's kinda passive in this episode. She was cute while trying to puzzle out all the strange things people around her were saying though. Lila did not leave as much of an impression on me as I thought she would, honestly. She's already made quite a bit of an impression with all the stuff she's been doing in previous episodes. Here she just does it in person, and I'm not sure I even like her villain outfit. Plus the plan is pretty much immediately a failure. It's weird, I feel like I want to like this episode a lot more than I actually do. Shout out to my patrons and channel members, A, Skyman, Technopark, and Jarg Evolved. What are your thoughts? Tell me in the comments below, and while you're at it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Thank you, and good day.